Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We've all been there. It's 3 a.m., you're staring at your phone, wondering how you got here. You told yourself you'd go to sleep hours ago. You have goals, deadlines, responsibilities, and yet you continue scrolling. And the worst part, you think this is a discipline problem. What if it's actually a dopamine problem? The truth is, you've fallen into one of the worst traps modern society has ever conjured, and that's the dopamine trap. But I'm not just here to tell you about it, I'm here to help you escape it. But first, we need to clear some misconceptions about dopamine. Most people think dopamine is just the chemical that fires when you feel good. It's not. Research by Wolfram Schultz shows that dopamine is more about anticipation than pleasure. It spikes when your brain predicts a reward, and it drops if your brain does not get that reward. Think of it like this. A friend randomly decides one day to give you a cookie. You get a big dopamine spike because it's an unexpected reward. He then tells you he's going to give you the same cookie over and over at 6 p.m. for the next however many weeks. With each passing day, you expect the cookie more and more, so you get less and less of a dopamine spike, until your brain starts to consider the cookie the standard. Once that happens, getting the cookie gives you a very small dopamine spike, while not getting the cookie puts you way below baseline, causing you to seek the dopamine you would usually get. So you might go to a shop and buy a box of cookies to make up for it. This is why your phone and social media in general are so addicting. Every single scroll and every single notification is a new unexpected reward. And when you don't give your brain the daily fix of dopamine from scrolling, you drop way below baseline. You procrastinate, you feel demotivated, and everything feels way harder to do. This is what I call the dopamine trap. But you're definitely not alone. A study led by psychologist Sally Andrews showed that people spend an average of 5 hours every day on their phones. That's a third of their time awake. On average, people also check their phones 85 times a day. Let's be honest, raise your hand if you've checked your phone at least once since I've started speaking. But I don't blame you. Phone addiction is something I've struggled with for years too. Many times I've procrastinated studying on an exam all day, waiting until the very last moment to start studying. And as you can imagine, that caused me to get a way worse score than what I usually would have gotten. The problem is, most of us have conditioned ourselves towards instant gratification, endless rewards, infinite novelty, without having to earn any of it. And when real life feels slower than TikTok or Instagram Reels, we drop below baseline. And we try to compensate by scrolling again. But the good news is, just as we have trained ourselves towards instant gratification, we can train our brain to enjoy hard work again. After regulating my dopamine, I was able to become student council president for my school, while also becoming a valedictorian by getting straight A's on all my classes. I was able to balance that with exercising, playing games, hanging out with my friends, and doing anything in my free time. So how do we go about training our dopamine? First, we need to stop the constant stimulation. That's the root of the issue. Put your phone in another room while you're working. Avoid apps that hijack your dopamine system, and turn off notifications you don't need. Next, learn to embrace boredom, because boredom is not the enemy. Studies by Sandy Mann showed that people who performed boring tasks later performed better on creativity tests. That's because the brain gets its best ideas when it has some room to breathe. So the next time you're in a queue, or you're waiting for a bus, or anything like that, resist the urge to instantly pull out your phone and give your brain that fix of dopamine. Sit with yourself for a moment. Think. Next, we need to learn to earn our rewards. To combat instant gratification, you need to replace it with meaningful gratification. Things like learning a new skill, reading, exercising, all provide genuine dopamine. These things are actually fulfilling instead of the mindless dopamine you would have been giving yourself. Lastly, remember to start small. You can't quit every distraction overnight. That's impossible. But as we work towards it, our brain will slowly adapt. As philosopher Will Durant said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. So once you repeatedly resist the urge to scroll, your brain will adapt. Once that happens, everything feels way more fulfilling. Life becomes genuinely fun. Productivity becomes easier. Working doesn't feel as excruciatingly painful. You can do chores without having to go through the pain of sitting with yourself. So you don't need to move into the mountains, abandon all technology, and throw out your phone. You just need to take back control. Because corporations have made billions and spent billions on controlling your attention and hijacking your dopamine system. Once you stop letting algorithms control where your attention goes, you start living your own life again. So the next time you feel the urge to pull out your phone and scroll and consume yourself with mindless dopamine, think to yourself, am I really choosing to do this? Am I gaining anything out of this? Or am I just being programmed into scrolling? Thank you.